in New Orleans. I was waiting in the airport for my plane, and Reverend Pat Campbell from Temecula Valley, California, was there. And she's one of the big-known names in the movement. She's known as the fun reverend. She likes to tell jokes and sing songs and stuff. And we chatted for a minute, and she said, when I get home, always after conference, I do question and answer. Ask me anything. So I said, ooh, 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 ooh. So that's what we're doing today. And Marie has a basket, and I'll just, sure. Sure. We'll just draw things out of here. This is totally unrehearsed. How do I feel love when everything hurts? Oh, is that a good question? So when everything hurts, it's because we've forgotten who we are. It's because we think that the circumstances that are hurting us. And we think that it's the circumstances that are hurting us and not how we respond to the circumstances that are hurting us. And the thing about this teaching is we always have choice. Now, ultimately, yes, if our thought is creative, ultimately we're creating our whole world. But most of us haven't quite got there where we're always doing that all the time. And we're all in this together, and we're creating stuff. So we can't always control what we experience, but we can always control how we experience what we experience. I had a couple of days of kind of depression the other day, and I was thinking, there's so much pain in the world, and there's so many people who are hungry, and people who are addicted, and people who are sick. And if you focus on that, of course you're going to get depressed. But at the same time, going on in that world, intertwined with all the pain that there is always incredible sunsets. There's always those snow-covered Rocky Mountains. There's always somebody who loves you. So the way to be happy is to choose. To choose what you focus on. And to remember who you are is the creator of your own experience. That answer that question?
Love it.
Okay. So this one is. Never thought to bring glasses. Why is it that sometimes when we want to go within during meditation, there seems to be a block?
Just one block?
Okay. We get this idea that meditation is an empty mind, right? And we go totally blank. We never think anymore, and all of a sudden this great epiphany enters our body, and we just, wouldn't that be nice? But my mind is totally out of control sometimes. Its purpose is to think, and that's a really good thing. We say every week here we need to think for ourselves, not just memorize stuff, not just parrot back. We need to think. And so how do we turn that off? How do we turn that off? So I think the thing is, what's blocking us from meditation is our judgment about how well we're doing it, for one thing, and how it's supposed to be. The thing is, in this lifetime, while we're still in these physical bodies, probably the most we can hope to do is focus on one thought at a time. We will probably never get rid of thought, right? So that's the purpose of a mantra, or looking at a candle, or whatever we do in meditation. And then there are noises that happen out here. A bus goes by and somebody coughs, and right away we're out. And again, it's just about noticing those things without being attached to those things. So I'm sitting in meditation and I say, I see somebody coughed. And then it's gone. If we don't judge that or get attached to that, we don't get sucked down that path. We don't judge whether the bus should be going by, or whether the bus is late, or where the path's coughing. It's just But yeah, that's be easy on yourself when you try to meditate. There isn't a right way to do it. You don't have to sit cross-legged. You don't have to. To me, meditation can be as simple as sitting at a red light and getting a little frustrated and just taking a breath and saying, I'm bigger than this. That's all it is. It's just remembering who we are. So and not getting attached to the blocks and not worrying about the blocks, because that's just another thing. How am I doing? Thank you, Joe. What is the difference between New Thought and New Age? Good question. New Thought is a specific teaching. It's metaphysics. It's the teaching that our thought is creative and that by becoming conscious of our thinking, we can create a different experience of life. Many people who are into New Thought, because we tend to be free thinkers, we tend to think for ourselves, we tend to be a little bit of rebels. Many people who are into New Thought are also into various New Age things. And New Age really to me just means anything that pushes the boundaries of what they say, what standard, the custom of the culture is. And so it's all sorts of things like energy healing and crystals and card reading and all that stuff that seems to work for a lot of people, and we don't really understand why it works, so a lot of people, poo-poo it. I don't disbelieve any of that. I think there's potential in all that. It's just not where I choose to spend my energy to investigate it, because it seems to me that New Thought is the one truth that underlies all of those, and that what we believe, what we think, creates our reality. Right? So if we really have faith in crystals, if we really have faith in doctors, if we really have faith in our psychic, that creates a reality for us. I have no judgments at all about the physicalness, the scientificness of any of that, because I just haven't taken the time to study it. But I don't disbelieve anything. I don't necessarily believe it, but I don't disbelieve anything, because goodness knows there's lots out there that I don't understand yet. Oh my goodness. How are we one with God? Please, a concrete example. Oh my goodness. Well, the basic premise is that God is all there is. So in the very beginning, the Bible says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and there was only God. So if God created by speaking its word, it had nothing to create out of except itself, being all that was, right? So if God can create only out of itself, then everything it creates, including you and me and everyone here, must have been created out of that God stuff. So the thing is, we can't not be one with God. We can never get away from God. When we have the understanding of God that we have as energy, life force itself, rather than some being outside ourselves. God permeates, interpenetrates all of us. We are God and God is us. So a concrete example would be me. A concrete example would be, this music stand. And quantum physics now is telling us, right, that there is only energy. And that what we experience as matter is energy slowed down and vibrating. So everything concrete is also spirit. Energy and spirit are one and the same, just experienced at different levels. Is that concrete enough? This is my vision. Okay, stop your hand. How do you connect with Source and walk the walk on a daily basis? Pretty good. Again, it's remembering, I think, when there's difficulty, when there's challenges, and there's always going to be challenges in our world. Again, it's how do we deal with them without getting connected, attached to them? And for me, it's returning to the moment of now. Returning to the moment of now, because most of the difficulties are, somebody said, all the stuff we worry about, 98% of it's never going to happen. Of the other 2%, 1%'s already happened, and the other percent we can't do anything about anyway. So it's about coming back into this moment and saying, right now, most of you know, my biggest challenge right now is my daughter and her health and her recovery. And when I start to worry and fret, does it look the way it's supposed to look? Right now, I know she's safe. She's, she's warm, she's fed, right now. And tomorrow's going to happen whatever tomorrow's going to happen. But if I keep returning to the now, then, because worry is just not being here. It's in the future. Regret is being in the past. All the things that get us upset and stressed are not now. Just look around right now. We've got music, we've got friends, we've got chairs, we've got lights. So, think positive. I don't even remember what the question was.